Hi there. I'm going to do chapter 4 has an example of an inner conversation, so we're going to do that. Let me share my screen. So you'll have to have the book in order to understand the context of the conversation that's in here. That's because I'm not going to kind of represent this to you. But this is an example of an inner conversation. It can be considered interactive, active imagination, reports dialogue, either way you want to do it. Here we go. Um, so you lie down or sit back and relax. Concentrate on your breathing and relax. You should refer to Appendix A, which talks about box breathing. You should put this on pause until you're completely relaxed. There is another recording somewhere that talks about relaxation methods. So once you have got yourself relaxed, you want to put your mind in the proper place. This is a good example. Your eyes are closed and you are in a beautiful, safe place. You can be open and free, without fear. But instead of identifying yourself as your own conscious ego, you are want to identify yourself a little bit more like an active observer. Your job here is to interact with your inner beloved as an observant student. Will not allow yourself to be controlled. You're here to accept what you learn and integrate it into your conscious life. In your imaginary safe space, perhaps there are stars out, or the sky is bright and blue and the sun is shining. This is a place where you are very safe. Perhaps there is water or some other symbol of the unconscious, such as a dark, secret place, a cave, or something else. There might be a forest nearby full of mystery. The unconscious is often symbolized as water or mystery of the unknown, even aliens. But remember that you are safe here, and this is where you can learn and grow and commune with your soul and your inner beloved. So now that you are in this wonderful place, this safe place, you need to open up your heart and mind and make an invitation, kind of like what we did before. Here's an example. I call upon my inner beloved, that part of me that can answer the questions I have. Please reveal yourself in some form and come to me as my inner friend whom I can confide in and trust. We can sit together in this beautiful place and we can talk about the matters of my soul. We can make our life together a more beautiful thing. So then you're going to have to wait until it comes in whatever form, and you can put that on pause until it happens. So once the conversation begins, you're going to have a kind of a conversation with this inner beloved form of yours, and it's going to answer you in some form or other. Now it's extremely variable. You know, the type of person you are, you may see this as a person, a symbol, a feeling, um, a voice from the sky. It could be just about anything. It's from your unconscious, so it's not going to be. It's going to be more symbolic than literal. Um, in the book, I talk about. I have an example of a dream that we were working with, and the conversation talks about that we have at this point is about the trying to interpret a dream, but it could be something that's really on your mind or something that's bothering you, something that's been a big problem for you. So as long as it's an important question and it's important to you and your inner beloved, you'll get an answer. If you don't get anything, you might want to try a different question. So put it on pause and then go ahead and have your conversation. Now that the conversation is over, you can bring yourself gently out of your sitting or lying position and open your eyes. Take some time to make notes about the conversation. If something doesn't make sense, you can jot down further questions that you will need to ask to further clarify your understanding, but don't just jump right back in. You shouldn't really do more than one or two of these a day. Otherwise, it gets a little toxic and you fall too far into yourself and gets a little dark. You need to kind of keep yourself in the real world most of the time with certain with you jump in and talk for a while and then you stay out and then you come back later. And that way it kind of keeps a nice balance, 30 minutes a day is what I do at maximum. And maybe when you're first getting started, it might take a little longer, but you don't want to get in there for too long. Once the topic of conversation becomes stale or you've come to the dead end on understanding the question that you had, just move on to the next big questions and don't worry about it. It'll come back later if it's important. There will always be further conversations with your inner beloved. And these questions will never be answered perfectly because it's more of a symbolic answer. Kind of like dreams are, a little vague. But you get answers. You do get answers. They're just going to be in the forms of symbols and metaphors. Nothing is always going to be clear or cogent, but when you're dealing with the unconscious part of yourself. And I think that's what I have to say for now. And with that, I'm going to say adieu. I'll see you next time.